My supreme namaskarams to all of you. We are discussing about the right of privacy and in particular about the fundamental rights both under articles 14, 19 and 21 of the Indian Constitution. As you are all aware that in the entire world people are now discussing about the Pegasus and its wings and whether they are all called as cyber weapons. Before we go in detail about these aspects, we must keep in our mind that we have the written constitution called as the Constitution of India 1950, in which we have the preamble which says that we want to achieve a sovereign socialist secular democratic republic which will secure to all its citizens justice, social, economical and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. The dignity of the individual and unity of the unity and integrity of the nation we can achieve in a welfare state, and that too when we adopt the system of democracy only if the people are having their fundamental rights freely exercisable, and if there is violation of any one of them they should have remedies. In the Constitution, when we look into Part 3 fundamental rights, the general articles 12 and 13, they will say about what is state and what are the laws that are inconsistent with or in derogation of the fundamental rights, and to what extent they are unconstitutional, and also what are the laws in force, and also what law definition law includes. While we already discussed about these aspects, let us see these articles 14, which is part of right to equality, and also article 19, right to freedom, which is also part of the heading right to equality, and article 21, which is part of right to freedom. Both articles 19 and 21 are the part of the heading under the heading right to freedom, that is part 3. This article 14 says right to equality means all are equal before the law. So they want to achieve the equality before law, which says that the state shall not deny to any person equality before the law or the equal protection of the laws within the territory of India. Whether you are member of parliament or MLA or prime minister, minister or common man, all of you are equal before the law. This is what this article 19 says. Then we have right to freedom. It gives under article 19 protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech, etc. So article 19(1) says all citizens shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression, to assemble peaceful and without arms, to form associations or unions or cooperative societies, to move freely throughout the territory of India, to reside and settle in any part of the territory of India, and to practice any profession or to carry on any occupation, trade or business. So various rights are there for citizens under the title and head right to freedom. Then Article 21, which is very important article, which wants to protect the life and personal liberty of a citizen. It gives a right to all the citizens by saying that no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. These three articles very, very important. In case of violation of any of these articles, the citizens or non-citizens, they are having a right to move the Honorable Supreme Court for appropriate remedy by following the procedure under Article 32. So these are the various fundamental rights. So right to personal liberty or not to be deprived of life or personal liberty right clearly shows that right of privacy is part of these articles 19 and 21, and for that matter all the citizens, since equal before the law as per Article 14, can claim these rights irrespective of their caste, creed, whatever you say. So let us see whether this aspect of the wings of Pegasus is troubling the people of this country, or for that matter anybody in the world, and how to get a rectification of all these things. For this, if you see the controversy across the world about this misuse of Pegasus spyware, we can understand various aspects, facts and circumstances which say that they are all violated. You must understand the allegations and counter allegations and also false trials and various suppositions in order to understand the misuse of the Pegasus spyware. What is the role of cyber weapons? A debate shall be there in this. They say this misuse of Pegasus spyware or any spyware of, for that matter, of that type of nature is for the benefit of the country or sovereignty or security of the country. The people who purchase this are claimed as clients of that company, and the company claims if the clients misuse this Pegasus spyware, then the fault is not with the Pegasus company or the government in which that Pegasus spyware company is established, but of the failure of the government in which that particular client is residing, or that particular client has misused that Pegasus spyware. Whatever it is, we can say it is not the ultimate cyber weapon, but it has however compelled nations to emerge from their deep slumber about the threat posed by such new age weapons, even though it has been quite a few decades since the world saw the advent of cyber weapons, albeit more primitive than those vogue in today. So this is not a recent weapon, but it is under discussion from a long time. See, as long as in 1990 when Abba al-Latif Ayas, who served as the chief bomb maker for Hamas, was assassinated by Israel's domestic violence agency Shin Bet using a doctorated phone containing explosives when he responded to a call from an unknown person. Many daring exploits of the past, which took months of effort and the utilization of large numbers of people and resources to achieve, are in the cyber era possible with far less effort and resources. The destruction of the Viborg power station in Norway during the Second World War, which took months of planning and the extensive resources of allied powers and involved loss of lives, for instance, could be achieved in 2019 with a fraction of this effort. It has happened in Norsk Hydro, aluminum and energy producer, became the victim of cyber attack. Cyber is often touted as the fifth dimension of warfare, in addition to land, sea, air and space. So this is more important. The governments are claiming, in addition to the land, sea, air and space warfare, these cyber weapons are being used as part of the rather fifth dimension of warfare. As the domain of military and national security also coexists with cyber as a domain of everyday life. The war is no longer out there. It is now directly inside one's drawing room, with cyber weapons becoming the weapon of choice. These cyber weapons can be anywhere. They can keep it outside our houses or somewhere near to the place where we are living or working or moving. So they are interfering with our rights, fundamental rights. It's a grave threat. What I understand is this Pegasus spyware can copy messages that are sent or received, harvest photos and record calls, secretly film through the phone's camera, or activate the microphone to record conversations. It can potentially pinpoint where you are, where you have been, and whom you have met. It can harvest more or less any information or extract any file. So, once this Pegasus spyware is being used, all your communications through your cell phone or any other method of communication of you can be easily tracked, whether it is of photos, calls, and that way, even if you secretly film through the phone's camera or activate the microphone to record conversations. So this way, it's a big, great threat. This Pegasus spyware is being used not only when there is war between the countries. Some clients of that company has been using it even during peacetime. The cyber weapons carry untold capacity to distort systems and structures. Civilians or military, and most importantly, interfere with democratic processes, aggravate domestic divisions, and above all, unleash forces over which established institutions or even governments have little control. This is more important. The governments don't want to control. Sometimes it has got very little control. For the present, it is hiding behind a cloak of anonymity and the unwillingness of those to whom it has been sold to acknowledge its misuse, but the reprieve is likely to be only temporary. The Pegasus spyware company is now not disclosing to whom it has sold that particular system, but in future it may have to tell to the concerned governments about who are their clients. The cyber methods which undermine capabilities can remain anonymous only for some, but not for all time. For the present, it may remain unrecognizable, but this will be only for a limited period. But as citizens of this country, or for that matter in the world, we all must be careful and prepared to guard all our communications. Cyber threats are there to everybody. This spyware is employing newer and state-of-art cyber weapons, which will further intensify cyber insecurity across the board. So what do we need to understand is we have to carefully analyze and assessment this cyber threat in our lives or in the administration of the government, while dealing with the people or with the opposition parties or with the opposition while with the war with the other countries. So we have to carefully analyze and assess the various threats and find out solutions which will have little rational or depth is hardly the answer to critical threats posed by sophisticated spyware such as Pegasus. With the advent of cyber weapons such as Pegasus, technology which is perceived as a friend could well become a matter of despair. So previously we have been feeling that the technology is a friend to us and it will develop the countries and it is for the benefit of the people, but it will become a matter of despair. The cyber technology is evolving, and when we consider the pace of it, erecting proper defenses will prove difficult. We have artificial intelligence, AI, is often seen as a kind of panacea for many of the current problems and ills. But all advances in technology tend to be a double-edged sword. Why double-edged? Many-edged. Either it can be for the benefit of the countries or people in the world for their development or for controlling the various situations and solve the problems, and also it can create many problems. Artificial intelligence is often seen as a kind of panacea for many of the current problems and ills, but all advances in technology tend to be a double-edged sword. If truth be told, artificial intelligence could in turn make all information warfare, including cyber-related, almost impossible to detect, deflect or prevent, at least at the current stage of development of artificial intelligence tools. Meanwhile, easy access to newer cyber espionage tools will add to the existing chaos. Security in the era of ever-expanding cyber weapons could become an ever-receding horizon. So, people of the country are now fighting for their right to privacy by claiming if their cell phones or the any other methods which they use towards communication between them and with the world is violated, how can they develop, how can they live carefully or guard their rights by carefully guarding their rights? We have seen in Parliament also that Parliament was paralyzed over Pegasus and farm laws. Farm laws is a different subject which we'll discuss later, but when we see the various objections raised by the opposition parties in the Parliament, we understand that the members of Parliament are very cautious. They are interested to see that this Pegasus snooping controversy is resolved. Likewise, in the Supreme Court also, some directions are given, and the company is in Israel. The Israel company or the government has appointed a commission to review NSO. The allegations are that Pegasus spyware was misused. The government says, that Israel government says, all aspects of granting license will be looked into. But the problem is, already rights of the people are violated. This commission, even it reviews the allegations that the NSO group's controversial Pegasus phone surveillance software was misused, and the head of Parliamentary Foreign Affairs and Defence Committee, which has said that the review commission made up of a number of groups, and definitely the commission will review this NSO and then solve the problem. But what is the problem is mass surveillance of many journalists, human rights defenders, and 14 heads of states. 50,000 potential surveillance targets on a list leaked to rights group Amnesty International and Paris-based Forbidden Stories. So we can understand how much extent of involvement into the fundamental rights of various citizens in our country, and also other type of rights created by the systems in which those citizens are living are violated. This rights group Amnesty International and Paris-based Forbidden Stories organization, they said the leak is not a list of targets of potential targets of Pegasus. They say if there were an investigation, so that would be able to clear their names. So the probe is open. Even our enemies, China, it also condemns the spyware surveillance. What they are doing, suppose if you take Tibet, Dalai Lama's close aides figure on spyware list. So some of the numbers of top officials of Dharmasala are targeted. In India, some of the judges, some of the opposition leaders, and also 2 ministers who are now in the central government also are there in that list. So what is happening is even after several countries' governments condemn spyware surveillance. For that matter, French president also, he called for a national security meet. French President Emmanuel Macron has called a national security meeting, and a meeting was held on Thursday, and it is discussed the Israeli-made Pegasus spyware after receiving reports about its use in France, and the president of French government closely looked into this subject and took it seriously, and that meeting is also dedicated to the Pegasus issue and question of cyber security. So once all the, whether it is what you call individual rights or government's rights, whatever it is, they are all violated. What to be done? Either the list of the clients of that Pegasus company has to be found out, and then thereafter further investigation has to be done. Of course, that will be done. But what is important is right of privacy. How can we achieve? For this, what we have to see is the each individual has to guard himself, has to understand whether this Pegasus type or similar type of companies are violating their fundamental rights or not. If their fundamental rights are violated, immediately they should take appropriate action against those who are trying to invade their rights. One thing we have to understand is this right of privacy, since part of right to life, which is protected under Article 21, and also right, it includes part of right to freedom of speech, because all rights can be violated by knowing about the communications which you make, or by receiving the or taking the photos or videos which are available in your cell phone or any other computer or any other device. If that is so, what will happen? Definitely the development of all the countries or the people is in danger. In such event, what we need to do is this investigation that has to be done, not only in respect of who are the violators, but also to what extent they have damaged the various fundamental rights to the citizens, and also more particularly how to prevent for not using the spyware for future violation of rights of the people. At the same time, you know, in our country about Section 66A of the Information Technology Act 2000, and what has happened to that section. And recently we have a judgment from the Honorable Supreme Court to understand that the laws For that matter, judgments of the courts are not properly implemented. In chapter 11 of the Information Technology Act 2000, section 66A was there. This section 66A held as unconstitutional as violative of Article 19(1)A of the Constitution related to freedom of speech and expression in Shreyas Regnal versus Union of India 2015 5 SCC 1. So afterwards, what has happened we have to understand. Once this section 66A is held unconstitutional, automatically that particular section is not in force of law. It has no force of law. If that is so, how can they now claim that we will implement it? What was actually happened is, after this 2015 judgment, this particular section should have been removed by the authors of all books. But unfortunately, several authors, they kept this particular section in the book itself. Resulting, what has happened is that